What do a poor person and a hamster in its wheel have in common? Both can give 100% of their effort, run with all their strength, and yet remain exactly in the same place. The reality today is that despite all good intentions and efforts, one can remain poor for life if certain key differentiators are ignored. This video shares 8 essential lessons that enabled the transition from poverty to wealth, lessons that can transform anyone's financial situation today for those seeking to earn more money. These aren't generic advice like working hard, being disciplined, creating multiple income streams, or investing in real estate. Today, we'll explore the genuine keys that can change everything when applied immediately. Lesson 1. Poverty creates poverty. A few days ago, while browsing through old Snapchat archives, there was a video from around age 18 to 19 that revealed someone speaking like a street thug. This served as a reminder that around age 20, enormous effort was invested in changing speech patterns and eliminating street slang. Why was this transformation necessary? The realization emerged that while society contains anti-black racism and anti-Arab racism, there exists an even stronger form of discrimination: anti-poor racism. In the professional world, in business, and in life generally, the more someone resembles a poor person, the more they will be treated as one. Unfortunately, most people treat the poor terribly. This reality is horrible and shouldn't exist, but it represents the harsh truth of our world. However, there's a silver lining to this harsh reality. While racial discrimination cannot be escaped, being black or mixed race means enduring that racism throughout life. Anti-poor discrimination can be avoided. One can avoid dressing like a poor person, speaking like a poor person, or acting like a poor person. Admittedly, this transformation might feel like losing part of one's identity. Speaking like peers from the neighborhood once seemed cooler, but there comes a moment of recognition. The world is unfair and will judge me, but if success is the goal, every advantage must be utilized. This led to speaking properly, articulating clearly, and avoiding neighborhood expressions, which proved enormously helpful. Success would never have been achieved, convincing the first business client to pay €1,500 monthly for advertising management, if the previous style of dressing like someone from the suburbs had continued. For those watching this video who grew up in disadvantaged environments but aspire to wealth, consider changing the way you speak and dress. Also examine the people you admire, because unfortunately, when poor, role models typically include rappers and football players. Unless pursuing careers in those fields, these aren't the right role models for wealth building through work or business. Choose role models who achieved success through similar paths. Individuals like Xavier Neal, Elon Musk, or Satya Nadella, Microsoft's CEO, who rose from nothing while remaining humble, thoughtful, and determined. If you come from a poor family, this might be painful, but stop listening to advice from close relatives. Listening to counsel from people who haven't succeeded in earning good living will prevent you from earning a good living. This represents one of the greatest obstacles when poor. Acting like the people around you, seeking advice from those around you, but these individuals have no idea how to make money, resulting in repeating the same mistakes. Lesson 2. Do fewer things to achieve more. This problem likely stems from videos like this one, where advice suggests that becoming rich requires improving your network, building personal branding, investing, reading, maintaining complex routines, and numerous other activities. When starting from zero, the response is either, "There are too many things to do, I don't even know where to begin," or attempting everything, realizing it's impossible, and either performing poorly or giving up entirely. The biggest hack for life progress is the 90-10 rule, also called ultra-focus. During the first 90 minutes of each day, focus on one single thing, the most important thing for achieving your objectives. This principle comes from The One Thing by Gary Keller, one of the most transformative books that changed everything during adolescence. Consider now, what's the most important thing you must do for your success? Imagine it's finding first clients for your artificial intelligence agency. During the first 90 minutes of the day, do only that. Find clients, find clients, find clients. After a month, if you have enough clients, determine the next most important thing and focus on that. Stop multitasking. It's one of the biggest mistakes beginners make. The more energy gets distributed across different activities, the fewer results are achieved. Crucially, understand that focus means eliminating distractions. To focus on one thing, many other possible activities must be eliminated. If your current objective is finding clients, this also means stopping personal branding development. If you want to do both simultaneously, halt all other current activities. For example, if you're improving networking, stop working on that until you have clients. It's not the priority. If you're simultaneously starting a YouTube channel, stop until you have clients. It's not the priority. If you're learning a language, stop doing that as well. The more focused you become on doing one thing at a time, the better results you'll achieve. This lesson requires annual relearning. The current personal approach involves setting one objective per week, one major goal, and pursuing only that throughout the entire week. Last week was entirely dedicated to a key recruitment for one business. Everything else was removed from the schedule, waking up and going to bed with only that focus. Result: more progress was made on that recruitment in 1 week than would have been achieved in 2 months while juggling multiple tasks simultaneously. Lesson 3. Stop relying on education. Ask a wealthy person how to become rich, and they'll almost never answer, "Get a good education." Ask a poor person the same question, and they'll almost always respond, "Get a good education." This occurs due to massive confusion surrounding education's purpose. Education provides assurance against ending up on the streets and guarantees earning at least a few thousand euros monthly. However, education absolutely won't enable earning tens of thousands of euros monthly or more, except in very rare cases involving highly specific studies at the world's best universities. If fear of homelessness motivates you, education is excellent. But don't believe that education alone creates wealth. That's absolutely not reality. To become wealthy, the key is developing crucial skills. And these crucial skills aren't taught in school. The best way to develop these key skills isn't through formal education, but by doing things yourself, and self-education. Lesson 4. Become a digital cyborg. A cyborg is a half-robot human seen in cartoons with mechanical arms and such. While a mechanical arm won't increase wealth, a half-mechanical brain provides considerable advantage. Today, anyone can become a digital cyborg using ChatGPT, having an artificial extension of your brain that enables incredible achievements. Currently, over 50% of work time involves interacting with ChatGPT. Half the time spent working on business behind a computer, the ChatGPT application remains open. If you work from a computer daily without using ChatGPT, you're making an enormous mistake. It's a genuine cheat code, but unlocking this cheat code requires becoming accustomed to this new technology. Everyone knows someone older in their family who never truly learned to use computers or phones. Watching them, it seems unfortunate because they could be much more efficient. If you don't use artificial intelligence daily, you're making the same mistake as your grandmother or grandfather. Develop the habit of automatically asking ChatGPT every question that enters your mind. All questions you'd ask teachers, ask ChatGPT. All questions you'd ask parents, bosses, lawyers, doctors, etc., ask ChatGPT. Sometimes responses won't be relevant, but in the vast majority of cases, you'll receive more information faster than asking someone in your circle or simply thinking alone. Hival. Lesson 5. Become a marketer. I've known people with enormous general knowledge who were broke. I've known very intelligent people who were poor. I've met mathematical geniuses earning barely minimum wage. I've encountered management experts earning a few thousand euros monthly at most. But I've never, ever met someone very strong in marketing who wasn't extremely wealthy. Being strong in marketing is the skill most directly linked to monthly income. Here are some marketing tips. First, identify problems of potential clients you want to reach and know how to describe them better than they can themselves. Regardless of the business you want to launch, you'll have clients, and whether they buy your product depends on whether your product solves their problems. You must precisely identify your potential clients' problems and understand them deeply. Imagine the business idea is organizing entrepreneur meetups. To convince people to attend, someone weak in marketing might say, "It'll be a great event with lots of interesting people. There are almost no spots left, so book quickly." A good marketer starts by identifying the prospect's problems. The best way to do this is to talk to people. Meet several people interested in the meetup and ask, "Why are you coming? What problems are you encountering? What do you think this meetup will accomplish?" Through this process, understanding emerges that most people come because they want to become wealthy, attend meetups thinking they'll meet people who'll help them become rich, and need to find business partners. Once you have this information, marketing can be completely adapted. Now you can say, if today you want to earn more money starting from zero but lack the environment to do so, you have no one to partner with, no one to discuss business topics with, no one to advise you on important life decisions, I have the solution. We're organizing a small meetup with people who share your desires, where you can create connections to change everything in your life over the coming months. This creates an inspiring, motivating sentence that addresses the potential client's specific problems. This is accessible to everyone. Identify your client's problems, desires, and personality. Then use all this information for marketing. Another crucial marketing point is selling before creating. Imagine a restaurant preparing 200 different dishes before opening, then praying customers order exactly what's already prepared. We agree this is completely stupid and that it's much more efficient to wait for customer orders before preparing requested meals. Yet in marketing, people do exactly this, spending months preparing a product before trying to sell it. When you're a beginner with your first business, it's extremely likely that nobody wants the product you've created. It's much smarter to start by selling the product even if it's not ready. Imagine you have this famous meetup. You can start by selling it, and only once you see interest can you begin creating the product. Whenever this advice is given, people respond, "But look, I can't sell the meetup because if I don't have the venue, I can't specify the meetup location and I'll have problems." This is why the strategy can be slightly adapted. For example, you can sell the meetup as if it's happening, then say, "Unfortunately, it's not happening," and refund people. Or you can make the sale, then, when the person accepts, explain you need to confirm something and will get back to them. Or you can ask for pre-orders to gauge interest before the product exists. The important thing is reaching the market and clients as quickly as possible to learn from their feedback. Lesson 6. Become frugal. When you're poor and haven't saved money, unfortunately, you must be stingy at some point and stop spending money. If you can't accumulate a few dozen, hundreds, or even thousands of euros, there will come a day when that money could have been used to seize an opportunity, but it's gone because you went to restaurants, bought popcorn at movies, or purchased the latest Nike sneakers. If you don't have at least 500 euros saved today, start being frugal. Stop making unnecessary expenses, stop being generous with friends, save that money because you can make it grow, and afterward, you can be generous and spend much more. If you don't have a computer, save to buy one. If you've never read books, save to acquire them. If you need to invest to launch your business, save money to do so. Lesson 7. Be patient. Becoming wealthy takes time. While we'll try to do it as quickly as possible, be careful not to let impatience and urgency lead to poor decisions. Here's an investment example. If you want to become a millionaire in 1 year, the only types of investments that will interest you are things like cryptocurrency or putting everything on a single casino number, taking enormous risks. Unfortunately, these investment techniques are very risky and often not the best. However, if you take a bit more time, you can almost guarantee becoming wealthy. For example, if you invest 300 euros monthly in the stock market, it's almost guaranteed you'll be a millionaire by age 60. The more time you allow, the higher your success probability. Unfortunately, many people make this mistake initially. They want to move too fast and make wrong choices. Becoming rich in 3 months is almost impossible. Becoming rich in 1 year is very rare. But becoming rich in 3, 4, or 5 years through perseverance is almost guaranteed. Give 100% effort, and ultimately, 5 years in a lifetime is practically nothing. Almost everyone is willing to sacrifice 5 years for education, but almost nobody plans a 5-year wealth-building strategy. If you do this, you have enormous chances of success. Lesson 8. Be more demanding. If you're poor today, it's probably because you're making mistakes and aren't at the required level. Unfortunately, most people never examine themselves honestly and always find excuses. This is something my father taught me very young. When I scored 1 or 2 goals in football matches and we were driving home, I was often very happy and proud, but my father wasn't. He was never satisfied, constantly telling me I could have done better. This is extremely frustrating, because you think you scored goals, were one of the best players on the field, and just want to be congratulated. But the reality is that if you want to become wealthy, if you truly want success, life is very demanding. Giving a little effort isn't enough. You must give 100%. Regardless of who you are or your current level, you can do better. This is guaranteed because we're never truly at 100%. If you stop being demanding of yourself, you'll stop progressing. If you stop being demanding while poor, you'll remain poor. If you stop being demanding with 1 million euros, you'll stay at 1 million euros. The only way to continue earning more money is to want more and be unsatisfied. Unfortunately, if you have nobody around you to say you can do better, it's extremely easy to settle for current results. Let me be that person for you watching this video, looking you in the eyes. Regardless of who you are, regardless of where you are, you can do better. Go for it!